Afternoon. How are we doing? Sorry I'm late. Got stuck on a phone call and I couldn't get off. So I'm here. Right. So I'm all thrown off now. Basically Canadian dollar GDP came out as a negative. A slight miss. So this is what we were speaking about this morning. Potentially when you're getting into any of these CAD pairs this morning, if that comes out as a negative, for example, like the pound CAD has been flying, obviously now it's going to fly a little bit more potentially. So negative CAD, we're expecting a GDP like going to zero, and we basically got a negative. So this is only month on month. It's not the end of the world. Typically the market looks at the quarterly figures, which is what is reported on the website, but a negative figure is obviously indicative of recession. So we were told that the Canadians are not going to go into recession. Negative GDP is a recession. So we'll see what happens, see what the market makes of that. So far, looking at the Canadian pairs, the CAD seems to have powered up a little bit. So the market doesn't really seem to have been too worried about that. So, you know, as usual, we get the opposite reaction to what we're expecting. So no real massive movement anywhere looking at all the CAD pairs. We've had a bit of volatility, but obviously it seems to be pulling back, which is indicative of Canadian dollar strength. So we will see what happens. Afternoon, everybody. Michael, Diamond, Brian, Philip, Seymour, Charles, Fletch, David, John, Bob, everybody else. Right. So trading the NASDAQ this afternoon. We've got 4 minutes to the open. ADRs today, there's quite a few ADR hits. Obviously, as you can imagine, half of them are on the pound pairs. We've got the CAD Swiss ADR hit. Let's just go out to 15 minutes so we can see. So we've got the ADR hit to the downside. So the CAD dropped on the news and has spiked back up. So that's given us an ADR hit to the downside. We had a push up this morning. So that's straight off of ADR lows. We've got the Euro CAD. So all these are CAD based, obviously, off the news. Spiked up and it's rejected straight away. Euro Swiss is ADR hit straight off the highs. That one's already come down. So the M5 reversal alert was up at ADR there. So that one's just popped straight back down. So that's a nice ADR reversal. Euro Pound, that's come down and hit the ADR lows. So this is on the pound strength. So we've bounced straight off of ADR lows there. Just pushing back at the moment. We've got a lovely propulsion gap target there. So if this one does do a retest and push, I'll be looking for it to come back up into propulsion, although that is a bit more of an A-shaped recovery really. But so that's a pretty good one. Euro Pound, Euro Yen, that one's hit. So big strong push against the yen today. 125 ADR. We haven't got a reversal off of the 125 yet. Pound CAD has hit ADR. Again, that's coming down. Reversal, that's a bit far away on that one, as is the pound Swiss. That one's a bit difficult to get into as well. Pound yen, that one's pushing 125 ADR. Again, ADR reversals on these on the 5 minute tricky because we've got such a strong pound. We're getting these big rallies on the pound where it just doesn't stop, then flags. So potentially there's a little bit more upside. This pound is really strong at the moment, although it's starting to flag a little bit now. So we'll see if we get any more movement on it today. New Zealand dollar yen looks pretty good. So that's a nice strong push there against the yen. So basically very, very weak yen today. Everything's pushed up against it. So there's your ADRs. RSIs, there's lit up like a Christmas tree, mainly the pound. So let's have a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ today, again, so yesterday, quickly looking at yesterday, we had a nice rally. We're still completely sideways on all of this stuff. Yeah, so it's really, really tricky at the minute. Accumulation, expanding wedge, big down day, closes the same. Big down push, big up push. Yeah, it's just all over the place. So impossible to tell which way we're going to go. We've got this massive propulsion gap up there. to aim for at the moment, which is off the back of the unemployment figures. So we'll see. But we've got 30 seconds to the open. Your pre-market 15 is there. Looking at today's levels, yesterday's high up here, yesterday's low. We're not too far away from yesterday's low, and then the previous day's low is ADR today. So we've got this propulsion gap here, which has been respected once already, which we're pushing down to at the moment. But the market looks pretty heavy pre-market, doesn't it? Looking at the Dow, very same. We've got push down. So again, Canadian dollar seems to have strengthened on its negative GDP. Obviously, the US dollar tends to move a lot with the CAD. So we're seeing strength in the US dollar as well, which is obviously driving the indices down. So all this strength in the US dollar that we're seeing is obviously indicative of a drop in indexes. So markets open. Dow's gone pretty quick. Divergence again. Dow down. NASDAQ up. Not trading the pre-market. If you took the pre-market on the Dow, that was a pretty tricky one today. Meh. However, it's worked. So well done if you took the opening range breakout downside on the pre-market. 15. Afternoon, Freeman. Afternoon, Alan. I've been working on the sentiment EA this morning. Been doing some testing with it. Got a lot of promise. Getting in daily has got a lot of promise. I like a lot. I'll go through that in a minute. But yeah, it's looking really good. I'm going to put it on the VPS today. I haven't had a chance because I got stuck on the phone. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I've got a first profitable close now in here. So you can use a first profitable close exit, and you can choose the time frame for your first profitable close. And basically take entries at the start of the day. And obviously you set your start of day here. So basically just gets in and rides the sentiment very nicely. I'm finding it very effective with trailing stops. Okay, pre-market on the Dow, you've got your 1.5 hour return. Stop 46, done 68. So there's your 1.5 hour, pretty much within a few pips. NASDAQ, inside bar. Bizarre, isn't it? Look at the Dow. Look at the NASDAQ. Total divergence. 2.5 minutes left on this candle, though. Nice drop on the Dow. That's going to be a nice profitable one this afternoon. Haven't heard back from my Thai lady about my massage. I'm going to have to text her, I think. I've contacted her through Facebook. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. So sentiment this afternoon. I was just looking at the pound pairs, seeing all these massive shorts. They're not getting out of these shorts. They're still in. Yeah, that's 11:57 update. Let's see what the new update is. Yeah, pretty much the same. 2 hours later, no difference. So really, the market is short as you like on these pound pairs. Oh, it's a lovely drop on the Dow. Beautiful. 90 points. So that's nearly a 2-to-1 on the 15-minute pre-market. NASDAQ still inside bar. Having to check this on my other platform because this is bizarre, NASDAQ being an inside bar, but hey, here's what it is. What's the S&P up to? Okay, so the S&P has also come out. I would say this NASDAQ's going to break to the downside. If you look at the S&P has fallen out of bed along with the Dow. So the Dow and the S&P are down. NASDAQ, there we go. So it is starting its break to the downside now. Afternoon, John. Oh, look at that Dow. Beautiful. Is anybody on the pre-market? 110 points. 2-1. Very nice. We are just coming down to support on the S&P. And the NASDAQ. So we've got potential support in our way. NASDAQ's holding up a lot better, isn't it, than the rest. The Dow has just put in a new low of the day. So that's a new Globex low. Or new low on the Globex session. I posted in the Telegram. There you go. So there's your 5-minute opening range in on the NASDAQ. I forgot to adjust all the offsets. Just going to adjust these offsets. Oh, I've got to do that. I haven't got my pad. Let's make a note of that. Okay, so let's see what the Dow does down here. Yeah, I posted in the Telegram group earlier that illustration. So this, basically, there's a new, I don't know if it's new or not, but there's a Discord channel where you can basically, when you log into the Discord channel, you can just basically type anything in, and the AI will generate an image. So basically, Alex said pound is in ultra beast mode. So I put GBP beast mode in, and that's what it gave me. And it just basically draws art for you. And there's nearly 1 million people in that Discord channel creating art with AI, just typing crap in and getting AI to generate images for them. It's absolutely phenomenal. We're on the cusp of something with all this AI with ChatGPT and everything, where Midjourney, that's it, Brian. Yeah. It's coming to the point now where why would you need anything? Like if you go into Midjourney and say logo for Forex trading company or prop firm, if you're starting a prop firm, it just does it. It just does everything for you. AI is just taking over the world. You got to ask yourself how long it's going to be before one of these AIs becomes self-aware and starts blowing everybody up, haven't you? Terminator. It's going to happen. I know it. It can draw. It can create EAs. It can do my kids' homework. Why the hell would you need to employ people? Why not just get AI to do it all for you? Creating content for websites does it. Just writes it all for you. You don't need people anymore. My SEO company I used to run, or my web design company, we used to do loads of SEO for customers, and half of the cost involved was writers creating content, blog content, all that sort of stuff. It's all done for free by AI now. Thousands saved. Scary biscuits, isn't it? Okay, we are stuck inside bar on the NAS. The Dow has paused after that lovely flush. What website is that? It's called Midjourney. If you just Google it, it's a Discord channel. Yeah, so this is the website, Midjourney. And the website is basically just for sending you to Discord, basically. So all you do is you go to get started, and basically you go and join the Discord channel. Follow the instructions. You just go into one of the newbie channels within Discord and type in /image and then type what you want, and it basically draws it. Gives you 4 versions, and then you can say take version 4 and give me 4 new versions, and then when you finish you just go to an ultra version of whatever you want and it's created art. It's absolutely nuts. It's just crazy. This is all completely generated by AI. But the reason I got there was the reason I found it came up on my Facebook page. Someone had asked it to create young people at a party, right? And it generated these computer-generated people, which looked amazing and hugely realistic. these people don't exist. And it created this art within 60 seconds of people at a party that didn't exist, all these women and these men and all this sort of stuff. Just don't get how it works. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, very weird. The Dota champion team was defeated by OpenAI's bot. I know, yeah, it's scary, isn't it? Afternoon, Sancho. You know, this what's the chess bot called? I can't remember what it is. The one that Microsoft created, long on the Nasdaq. That's got beaten by OpenAI recently as well. Long twice on the Nasdaq because the 10-minute high is in as well. Yeah, so the OpenAI bot has also beat that chess bot that no one could beat. It beat the chess bot that was created that beat all of the chess champions, the world chess champions. The OpenAI has beaten the chess bot that beat the world champions. It's the next level of like scariness, isn't it? How long before it goes, I'm going to take one of those robots they're making at Boston Dynamics, attach a gun to it, and create a crowd of them that are going to run off and blow people to pieces. I don't know, just put it out there. That's how Terminator started. Ed 209. Remember good old Ed 209? He started it all, didn't he? Ed 209, love him. Oh no. It's Greg Secker, everyone. Quick. No. Look at my watches rotating in the wall, all earned by selling training courses. Shut up. This is it. Open AI. This is it. This is the future. We're all going to get killed by Ed 209. Oh, look at those graphics, man. Cutting edge, that is state of the art. Look. Looks like something out of Robot Chicken, doesn't it? Oh, I love it. Anyway, let's do trading stuff. Okay, so Nasdaq's still holding those highs at the minute. I saw the photos where AI created the famous Street Fighter characters. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. It's all done with that Mid-Journey. It's bloody amazing. There's lots of other things like Mid-Journey as well. I don't know who came first, but right, Dow has rejected. So this propulsion gap, I would suspect we are going to trade up into that. I don't think that's going to hold. We're going to need some retests in there somehow, but we may well run away from it before we come back. So Nasdaq will be a good indicator as to whether or not the Dow is going to push back up into that. It's not doing too bad a job at the moment. Michael, I'm in the UK. How do you run your trading business? As a sole trader or limited company for tax purposes? Sole trader. My accountant said there's not much point in becoming a limited company because the only benefit you're really going to get would be limited liability, obviously, but I haven't got any customers, so I don't have a limited liability on because I haven't got any customers to liability to. And the possibility of becoming VAT registered, which would assist with getting VAT back on evaluations. But as all of the prop evaluations are outside of the UK, I don't pay VAT. They don't charge VAT. So there's no advantage on that respect. And there's not really any advantage to drawing dividends, which is the other advantage of being a limited company, because when you earn over 40K, which you will do if you go pro trading, the tax on the dividends is ridiculous anyway. So there's no advantage. So there's really no advantage to becoming limited. That was my advice anyway, I was given. I'm a little bit different because I have a sort of sideline with the indicators, but it's not enough money to, warrant doing anything. So, but for trading income, you just pay tax on it as normal. Assuming it's your main income, and assuming it depends how you do it. Because if you trade with IG, for example, you can do a spread betting account, and a spread betting account is classed as gambling. So if it is not your main income, you don't have to pay tax on that. If that income then exceeds your normal income, you have to declare it as your main income and pay full tax on it. So there's lots of ways around things. But the other thing with getting paid by prop is I'm actually a contractor. So my own money that I earn from my own trading accounts is just my self-employed income. But the money I earn from prop is as a contractor. So there's no real advantage to doing anything but self-employed. Just stick it on your whatever it is every year, self-assessment. Ed 209 comes out with a trading course. I'm going to Discord for a minute. I'm going to do that. Let's see what it comes up with. Ed 209 delivering a trading education course. Okay, let's see what Midjourney makes of that. I'm in the queue. Assuming it knows what Ed 209 is, of course. Okay, 3 long on the NAS. And my platform's frozen. Hasn't really gone far. Still waiting. This is frozen up, but the NAS is actually pushing. Oh no, that's the S&P. Sorry. Whoa, I'm on the wrong instrument. No, so we're pretty much where we were. Come on. It's gone all slow on me now, Midjourney. Too many people making too many images. It's just absolutely crazy. Just thinking about it. Okay, we're rejecting on the NAS. 2 minutes left on this candle. See if we can close bullish. So we've got this high at the moment, which is our initial stopping point. And then after that, off to yesterday's high, but this the Dow seems to be holding everything down at the minute. Euro yen 125 ADR, still pushing. Waiting to start. Come on. Oh, my job has encountered an error for some reason. I'll try and run it again. I think I've confused it. It doesn't know what Ed 209 looks like delivering a trading course. Naz is pulling back. Dow is pulling back. Don't like the look of this. I kind of want to be out of this. Yeah, it doesn't know what Ed 209 looks like. It looks more like Bumblebee. Where's he gone? So apparently, this is Ed 209 delivering a trading course. Pretty amazing, though, isn't it? That you can just put this in. Look, how evil is that as an Ed 209? I don't know where it gets that from. It knows it's a robot, obviously, but it's definitely not Ed 209, is it? At least he's got a laptop in that one. Buy at 16.10. $10 risk. Anyway. God, you can get lost in it for so long. It's just an absolutely crazy thing, that is. Anyway. Conflict of interest. Yeah. Try ask the AI to create a Forex trading without stop loss as an image. Nasdaq is dropping. This is not good. See what it makes of that. Right, Dow has made new lows on the day. S&P is rejecting in that propulsion gap initially made by the move down. Nasdaq is holding at the moment. So potentially, obviously, we've made a new high now. So market structure basically has been invalidated. So potentially this is your new peak formation, low, high, low, higher, low. So we're going up. But the Dow at the moment is very, very heavy. So we want to see this rejecting down here and pushing back up into this propulsion gap. What the hell is that? I've no idea what this is, but it seems to have come up with some weird language. So this is Forex trading without a stop loss. THT saucer. It's made up its own language, isn't it? Look at this. Who's that? That looks like the bloke out of Half-Life. So this is trading without a stop loss. Utterly bizarre, isn't it? Very, very weird. What the hell? Anyway, that doesn't look like trading without a stop loss to me. It's making it up. People ask for the weirdest things. Man with a gun inside a medicine capsule. There's some strange people out there. Oh, that's nice. Hugging and kissing each other. Hugging and kissing each other, Ultra HD. And for some reason, it's decided to use some servals and some monkeys. But Nasdaq's pushing higher. Dow has rejected the lows, so we're getting the Dow's being bought up at the lows, helping the Nasdaq along. Still inside bar, pretty much. Well, we're lower high on that at the minute, so we'll see how that holds. Looks like young Christopher Plummer. Yeah, didn't it? A Jerry Bruckheimer version. Euro yen, good for a short. Both RSI extended on ADR. Yeah, we should look at some trading stuff, shouldn't we? Really, you can get lost in that thing all afternoon. So yeah, Euro yen very extended on the 4 hour. Euro yen is a long though. If you look at the buyer scorecard, everything yen is a long. Actually, it's not actually massively long, is it? Euro yen. It is a buy. We've got sentiment is short at the moment. COT is long, so therefore we want to be going long. So that +4, 6 of that is made up there. If you take those two off as well, that comes a +2 because obviously this is giving you positive interest rate and interest rate change against the yen, and the yen is negative 0.1 interest rate, so you can't really take that into account. But so it is a long, really. But we got everything pushing at the moment against the yen. So I suspect at some point there's going to be an intervention coming. So I'd be more interested in taking shorts. New Zealand dollar yen looks pretty good. Not extended at the moment, but we are just coming up into a resistance up there. But yeah, very nicely extended on the 4 hour. Very nicely extended on the hourly. We're over the 80 on the hourly as well. I'll draw those lines on there as well. It's nice to have those lines on there, so we know where those maximum extremes are. Yeah, very extended. So we're on a 3-day push at the moment. This propulsion gap is where I would look to come back down into. So ADR reversal. So drop down onto M5, wait for a reversal. As soon as you get the reversal alert, getting short, play it back down into propulsion. Nasdaq stuck. Dow is trying to push lower again. Really, really, really weak indices, isn't it? Ladder, looks like I need to try another evaluation. Last few weeks, not good. Complete validation that trading is the most boring career. Yeah. I do. I get lost. As soon as I come off the live rooms in the morning, I go, right, need to get some research done. So I usually go into research mode, backtesting mode, development mode, and then I see something pop up on my timeline on Facebook, click a link, off I go somewhere else, and I spent all morning this morning making art on Discord. That's a scary thing about AI, isn't it? It drags you in. I had to ask AI a few questions this morning as well on MT4. When I was recoding the sentiment EA, I wanted to ask it some bits and pieces, because do you know what? It's so much easier just to go to OpenAI and ask OpenAI a question than it is to go to Google and Google the question. Because OpenAI just answers it straight away. Google, you have to go to somewhere, look through that page to find the result. And the speed of getting your results through OpenAI is so much quicker. It's going to replace Google. What do you need Google for? Why don't you just ask OpenAI? It just, it also does it for you as well. Like what was I asking it? I wanted to ask it how to check a global variable to make sure that people have the sentiment at the web request ticked. So this option in here in the global variables, making sure that people have the web request checked, and if not, put an alert up on the screen. Just asked OpenAI, and it didn't just answer the question; it coded it for me. I was like, all right, fine, thanks. Literally, it's taken over the world, isn't it? Okay, Nasdaq testing the highs of the previous 5 minute. We've got a higher low going in. So if we can get a higher high going in here, we've got a chance of a catapult up into the highs there. This Dow, though, is really holding us down at the moment. John Wick, has entered the building. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I know exactly the image I want. This is going to be a good one. Inside bar. We'll have a look through the RSIs in a minute because there's quite a few of those. Just waiting for my art to be generated. New Zealand dollar yen. There we go. So that's the new 3 o'clock. The new ADR, the new RSIs are in. We'll have a look at those in a sec. Didn't quite manage to make a new high. Inside bar on the Dow as well. Blind, look at these ADRs going off. Euro CAD ADR. We've got news at 3. We have, haven't we? So this is the consumer confidence on the US dollar. Minus 16 on the manufacturing index. 102. So negative news on US. That's the first negative news on US we've had for a while. That will be bullish indices. That's good. Very good. Where's my drawing? There we go. Oh, that's awesome. John Wick has entered the building. Trading Forex. John Wick trading Forex on a computer. And he's got his dog. Look. Don't kill John Wick's dog. That's bad news. That's not a bad John Wick. That's better John Wick. Oh, look at that. How did it know to put John Wick's dog on the screen? And who's that? Very cool, isn't it? Very cool. I like that. I'm keeping that. I'm just gonna ask it to do variations on the 4th one without the dog. Very cool. Okay, so we got a little bit of a spike off of that. So I would expect to see US dollar weakness off the back of that news, although we don't seem to have a massive amount. So this might pop. It might drop. There's John Wick entered the building again, look. Afternoon, Neo. Good morning. AI is great and all, but when it breaks, they call me to fix the machine. Yeah. John Wick. Trading Forex. With his dog. That was never a Labrador, but hey, we'll take it. It's really wicky at the moment. The Dow especially. So heavy. We're getting a lot of sellers entering. So obviously this propulsion move at the open, the initial cash balance, looks like this is full of speculative sellers as well, which is obviously holding this all down today. So we're not managing to make any progress into this propulsion gap whatsoever at the moment, even with negative news on the US. So holding it here, I'm just watching this. Obviously, I'm just watching my average at the minute, with a view to potentially getting out of this if this doesn't manage to make any progress, because we're struggling. But if it does manage to get a good bullish candle in, we'll probably get a run on these highs, which is probably where I'd like to get out, because we don't seem to have an awful lot of buyers on board at the moment. It's not making bad progress now, is it? Right, so all these ADRs, obviously everything euro is potentially a long. So all the euros at the minute, so we've got a new high just gone in there on the NASDAQ, which is good. So we've got a higher low and a higher high. We've got 50 seconds left on this candle though. So if we can close with a nice big strong close candle, closes within 10% of, less than 10% of a wick, or 20% of, depending on who you are and what you think. But a strong close candle will tend to entice buyers in into a rally. So it doesn't look like it's going to close as a strong close either. Let's see. But all these ADRs are all potential good reversals. However, you know, euro is a long. We've got no euro news coming up until the CPI estimates on Thursday. So tomorrow it's all about the Australian dollar. So there's plenty of potential for these to all drop. Obviously, the Canadian dollar, we've had the news today, which is negative, which would indicate that we should be looking more for longs than shorts on the euro CAD. So that might not be the best one to take. Euro yen's just got extended. This yen is just absolutely destroyed today. However, lovely big propulsion gap, H1 and H4 extension on the RSI. So that looks really nice for a drop. Pound yen as well. Pound has had multi-day run now, so we're on our third day run. This thing's got to take a profit soon. It's exhausted. So all these pound pairs I'd be looking for shorts on. If you're not already in them, you're probably already in them. So okay, that candle's closed pretty strong on the Nasdaq, so hopefully we'll get a rally off of this back up into highs. Trailing stops are kicking in now, so I'm just reducing risk on these. So I'm reduced now to, where's the third position there? Must be in there. So when we get a close up at the highs, should pretty much reduce risk down to a couple of $100. See if we can get a runner on this today. Beautiful runner on the DAX this morning. Did anybody get on this morning, the DAX? I missed it by one candle, basically. Put it in the Telegram group. But the opening range break on the DAX today was that candle there. So that was your 5 minute. That was your 10 minute and the 15. So the 5, 10, 15 was that level there. So I took that break long, stopped out at break even on it with a trailer. This candle here is where my EA closes at 11:30. The candle after is utterly beautiful. Did not give you any opportunity to get out with a trailer. Even if you had a like 30 pip trailer on it, you wouldn't have got stopped out until up here, possibly on that one, 30 pips, which is normal trailer on the set files. Not even that, look. So you'd have been stopped out on that, somewhere around there. So it was a beautiful 60-point move. Missed it by one candle. So annoying. Euro, US dollar is a sell. So yeah, Euro, US dollar is a sell. At the moment, though, we're on a pullback on the US. So, and especially now we've just had negative news for a change on the US, we might get a little bit more weakness on the US. So you may well find this pushes a little bit from here. But yeah, overall, it is a sell. I'm waiting for RSI extension, which we're in now, for a short on the hourly. The 4 hourly is not there, but the hourly is there. So drop down to M5, look for reversal alerts. Nice rejection. John Wick has entered the building. Nice reversal alert short there, potentially. So Euro US dollar is the biggest sell out of the Euro pairs at the moment. It's the only one that's a strong sell. COT is not on board though, because obviously the market is long the euro and long the US dollar, so they cancel each other out. Sentiment at the moment is saying to go short because the market is actually long on it at the moment. So it looks like a good sell right now. Obviously when it's going to go, don't know, but looks pretty good. We're on 2 solid days up. Target might look better on M15, that one. Yeah. So you got propulsion gap on M15 there. So the nice, that's all kind of an accumulation break of the high. That's where we're going to come back down and retest at some point. How long it's going to take to get there, I don't know, but that's where we're headed. At some point when the US dollar powers up. As I say, we've got no news catalysts on the pound, on the US dollar. We have got PMI tomorrow. So we have got a news catalyst on the US dollar tomorrow. Again, hopefully if that comes out strong, that's when the US dollar will start to move against the euro. So you want to get yourself into a position or start a position on it now, ready for that drop to come in. Okay, 35 seconds left on this candle. We're just about to put a propulsion gap in. So we're looking for that to hold price up. A little bit of a rejection. So just starting a little bit of a pullback. So there's your propulsion gap. Oh, there you go. It's there now. Smaller. Okay, it's got some sellers just stepped in there. Two down days on the trot with the ORBs. Jesus, that's coming down quick, isn't it? Okay, Dow's just made new lows. Doesn't look good. So sellers are well and truly in control of the US markets at the moment. I'm just making strong new lows on the Dow. Don't hold up much hope for this. Let's see what happens. Big papa. I started demo trading, position trading since last Monday. So far, so good. But I find that even I am using 0.01 per 100 by 1,000, my profit sometimes is less than 0.5% per pair, mostly around 0.25%. Yeah, that's fine. If you bank 0.25% every day, you're making 5% a month. You're a profitable trader. So far, you've been losing all the time, right? Bank 0.25% a day, 5% a month. Bang, you're profitable. Job done. Work from there. Nothing wrong with banking 0.25% a day. Most people would snap your arm off to bank 0.25% a day because they can't actually get profitable. What am I not doing right? As I would have thought I can easily get 0.5%. Well, if you're banking 0.25%, you're not waiting until 0.5%. That's what you're doing wrong. So if you're using the EA, set the EA up to bank 0.5%. Yeah. If you're using the market reverse alerts EA, literally set it up so that it banks 0.5% for you. And then you will bank 0.5%. If you're getting out manually at 0.25%, yeah, I mean, it's because you're getting out at 0.25%, isn't it? My positions basically, when I've got when my portfolio is running, I have obviously each trade on the Trade Manager Dash. I bank 0.25% trades a lot, and then add them back on and bank them again, and then add them back on and then bank them again. If it's going nowhere and we're just going sideways and not managing to make any progress, I'll just keep getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out with 0.25%. If it starts to go, like the Dow here, I'll hold it. But you know, it's entirely up to you as to when you get out of a position. That's like saying I'm getting into a long position with a stop loss, and it's a 0.25% profit. Shall I close it? If you close it, you're going to get a 0.25%. If you don't close it, you've got the option of that moving up to 1%. Haven't you? Come on, Naz. There's a real battle going on here at the minute. We are still holding market structure. So if you actually break this structure down so far on the Nasdaq today, on a 5-minute basis, we've got a low, a high, a higher low, higher high. This is our higher low. So as long as we don't invalidate that candle there, the market structure is bullish. So I would still see a run on the highs on the NASDAQ. This is the thing that's really sticking at the minute. The fact that the Dow is so weak, which means we're not actually managing to find enough buyers to rally up to that high. I still think that high is on the cards at the moment, but if that low goes, we're in trouble. Same story on the S&P. The market structure on this is actually a little bit less clear, isn't it? So if we're bearish, that's your market structure. If we're bullish, this is your peak formation low. Going that way. This candle's key. Right, let's have a look at some RSIs. So there's a lot of opportunities on the RSI. Don't do that. The vast majority of your opportunities at the moment are on the pound pairs. So looking at the buyer scorecard for the pound, everything is a short pretty much, apart from obviously euro pound, which is a long because it's a short pound. Obviously euro being long, pound being short because it's a plus. So pound odd is the only thing really that is not either neutral or bearish for the pound. And that's only because at the moment everybody's shorting the pound. So therefore we've got an alert to go long on retail. So I'd be looking at everything, and obviously with the pound, they are short everything. So it's a case of wanting to get in short, but as the market is short at the moment, the pound is obviously pumping. Damn. Didn't want to see the Dow put a new low in. NASDAQ's still holding at the moment, but not looking particularly strong. So yeah, all these pounds potentially are short opportunities. But all the time the market is short on this thing, it's going to be driving higher. So we've broken through that level we were looking at this morning. It looked like it was rejecting up there, but it's not. It's gone straight through it. So next area of support resistance on this, it's going to be higher up. So we're looking at this high here and these lows really. So I would look at anything from that high up to that low there. Yeah, there down to there as your next sort of support level, resistance level rather. So this has acted as support previously. We broke it, it's pushed back up. That's where we stopped, pulled back down from. So somewhere in that area, we're potentially going to find our sellers. So as we've broken out of that level now, that's kind of invalid. So be looking for a push, drop down into that and push back up. So that would be your next level for entering a short if you've already got into this one. But it's massively extended on the hourly and on the 4 hourly. Look, we're, this is, can't scale out anymore. Highest, strongest pound movement we've had for a long, long time. Apart from there, obviously. So this is basically to do with this is getting on a it's not quite Liz Truss, is it? But massive extension. So this is on the Brexit news. So the deal that's been done for Brexit now opens up better trade in and out of the UK through the New Zealand through the Irish borders. So obviously we've got Southern Ireland being part of Europe, Northern Ireland being part of the UK, and we've got now that border problem where there's no border between North and South, so you can do what the hell you like. So that was always been a sticking point of Brexit. That's now been resolved. So it looks like the market thinks that that is going to be massively good for our economy. However, we're going into recession, so I can't see why they are so bullish on this. It's not going to be that good for the pound. Just because it's only trade literally between, we're still trading the UK and Europe. We're trading absolutely fine with the vast majority of everything not going through that Irish border. So the fact that we've now got a deal on that Irish border does not make the pound super, super strong. So I don't know why this is pushing quite so hard, but it is. So it's just a squeeze. And we are massively, massively extended. So I'd be looking for short opportunities on this and driving it all the way back down to here at some point. But at the moment, it's a steam train. So get in, but make sure you space yourself nicely on it for the drop. Nasdaq's just made a new low, but it is pushing up on an inside candle at the moment. So we're not actually going any deeper. So yeah, big strong push on the pound odd. Pound CAD extended up to 80, big strong push. We've had weak Canadian dollar news, obviously today with the GDP figures being a miss. That's helped that push higher. Again, resistance on this is looking up in this area now here. Got these three peaks. That's a decent looking double top or triple top. We got that area there, which was rejected and rejected there. Rejected there. We got that level there, which was here, and that level there. So these are all good support resistance areas. However, there's absolutely nothing at the moment between where we are now and that line there. So that is pretty much open season for a push further. So we're going to be reliant on some profit taking on this move from the banks back down into this area here. So yeah, absolute steam train at the minute. Nothing you can do. Absolutely extended. Same sort of scenario as here. Steam train, pop, drop. Yeah, pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop. Same thing. We're just popping at the minute. Need to get in and wait for that profit take move to start. Depending on what happens with the US dollar moving forward over the next couple of weeks, if that strengthens, it's not going to be able to stay strong against the US dollar. So I would see that coming back down to retest these lows, potentially this becoming a very wide range. US dollar is going to strengthen, Canadian dollar is going to strengthen with it. So as soon as the market's gone, yeah, actually this isn't making much difference, is it, to the pound? That's going to come back down. So don't, you know, there's every possibility of an A-shaped recovery, which is what these patterns are here. V-shaped recovery. Yeah, V-shaped recovery. A-shaped recovery. Every opportunity for that to happen. You just got to hold it and make sure you're keeping your average fairly close. Pound Swiss, same thing, pushing hard. This is pushing up into propulsion. So this here basically is a lovely resistance. Yeah, so that level there. It's exactly where we are now. So potential pullback into there, nicely extended up to the 80. Pound yen. Yen is obviously massively weak. We've now filled the propulsion gap. So this is where I'm looking. I've got an order set, which I've probably triggered. Sorry, I just need to check. Pound Swiss, New Zealand Swiss, Euro CAD, pound yen. Pound yen, pound yen, pound yen. Not quite. So my entry, oh, you're kidding. My entry on that is at 168.022. What? Sorry, 166.022. Check that out. Christ. I've got a pending order at 166.022. So we just had the reversal alert on that. So I'm just going to enter that. I'm just going to hit the sell button on it. Screw it. Euro CAD 150 ADR. I'm not missing that. So basically, that trade is a propulsion gap fill, which I'm playing. So the origin of that propulsion gap is there. Is there? This candle on the 4 hour. Yeah. So it's this down candle, this up candle rather, wick of the up candle. Yeah, before the propulsion move started. That's the origin. This is what I'm looking for a bounce from. Lovely extension. So I've just entered that short manually now, looking for move back down into that propulsion gap. Obviously, if the yen intervene, then fine, we'll slam down harder. Pound New Zealand, huge extension, same thing. Looking at this one, there's not an awful lot of movement on this. Well, actually, there's a few areas, isn't there? This whole area here is one big sort of sideways move with a couple of pushes out. So it could be anywhere in there. We could start short. CAD yen, ADR. Another yen hit. Pound US dollar. That's pushing up nicely into potential resistance. Failing that, there's nothing but clear sky all the way up to there. Or, whoops. There. So that area, actually you could look at that area as well, but I'd be more inclined to look at the most recent. If we break this and we don't get a reaction at ADR, we'd be pushing up into that area there, 150 ADR. So again, US dollar fairly weak at the moment. Nasdaq's holding. John Wick to the downside, bullish. Dow's finding a little bit of support as well. So yeah, so all those RSIs basically all massively extended on the pounds. Huge push. All ready for a profit take. All ready to jump in. We got ADRs across the board pretty much on the pounds as well, apart from pound New Zealand and pound US. But why's the pound US got a 0? Why that was zeroed? Obviously, I haven't looked at a daily chart on that since I've opened the platform. There we go. So that's nearly ADR as well. Right. That's those ones covered. Papa, what am I not doing right? Blah, blah, blah. Read that one already, but sentiment bearish in pound odd. Yeah, so it's along at the moment because sentiment is bearish. But, you know, it's you're trading two different strategies there. So that means your view is the same with retailers. Yeah, at the moment it will be at some point. These are two totally different strategies. This is a position trading strategy. Yeah, H1, H4, RSI extension, mean reversion, position trade. This is an intraday sentiment strategy where you trade against sentiment. Yeah. Bollinger Band extensions are a different strategy. Trend strategies are different. Yeah, they're different strategies. I'm giving you options. If you use them all together, you're going to get confused as hell and you'll never ever hit the buy or sell button. So stick to one or the other, is all I would say. My view is short. I don't care what retail says at the moment. I'll jump on board with the retailers because this thing's extended as hell. It's going to profit take. If these guys are going to make... Don't forget, yeah, just because 89% of the market is short on the pound New Zealand does not mean the pound New Zealand is not going to come down for 2 days solid. It will do. Yeah. All it means is the liquidity is at the highs for when the market needs to get the liquidity. If the market's already got the liquidity because it's shot so far high, it's going to come down and these guys are going to make money. Happy days for retail traders. Yeah. Retail traders make money as well. Yeah. But we know factually RSI extensions at this level will have a profit take. It has to, because these guys that have been pushing this are sitting on millions in profit. As soon as they start to take profit, the market will go, everyone's taking profit. Your P&L, look at my P&L right now. Sitting at $273, right? If you're in a bank now, let's say we've got a couple of notes on the end of that. If you're in a bank now watching this and you're seeing that P&L drop like that, obviously it wouldn't be red, it would be green still. You see it drop and you see it drop further, you see it drop further, you're going to go, right, time to get out. You're going to start hitting the sell button. As soon as you hit the sell button with all of your orders, everyone else's P&L is going to drop a bit further. They're then going to go, right, time to get out. And as soon as everybody sees that coming down, the sellers are going to go, right, this is the time to sell. And that is just going to get exponentially faster, that move. So as these guys scale out, it entices sellers. As sellers enter the market, it propels it faster. which is why you find the market will often do that and then that, because it takes ages to do that. But when you want to take your money, you grab it fast. Bang. Yeah. You get strong pushes in the opposite direction. These sellers were selling like crazy, making an absolute fortune. As soon as that guy went like that and everybody's P&L dropped, they went, right, we're out too. Bang, slammed up. We fall down the stairs and get the lift back up to the top flight. We climb up the stairs and fall down the elevator shaft. The profit take move is always more aggressive than the initial drive. And retail will be right sometimes, yeah? Can't be wrong all the time, can you? Jesus, NASDAQ. So we just made new low. I kind of thought this was coming, but it's going to be 3 days on the trot on this NAS. Annoying. It's a sideshow of slow the decline of the pound. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is not good news for the pound. Yeah, it's good news that we finally sorted it. Right, we've done Brexit. We're out. We've done it. Well done. We've had this issue with Northern Ireland hanging over us since we came out of Brexit, and this is the market's reaction to us signing a piece of paper with Europe to say, here we go, here's the deal. And the deal, actually, what's happened with the deal is now on land was where you had to get checked. Now, in the middle of the sea between England and Ireland, now that's the border. So all they've done is they've moved the border from there over to there. Does that make any difference to the economy of the UK? Nothing. It's got nothing to do with it. This is a smoke screen. This is a oof at some point soon. So get on it. Hold it if you can. Right. ADRs, other ADRs. So there's all your pound ones. You've got New Zealand dollar yen. So everything yen, everything yen is also massively extended on the 4 hour. Yeah. Drive, drop. Yeah. Profit take moves are coming down. So we're going to get drops on all these yens, especially if we get the yen intervention. Yeah, so if the Japanese decide, actually, you've been pushing far too fast, far too hard, we're going to get an intervention move and we're going to get, boom, one of those. Only takes you ADA to go, right, we've had enough, boys. And then bang, that'll come down really fast. Same way as it's done with the US dollar. So this is where the Bank of Japan initially intervened, said they didn't do it. Then they got to 150 and the Bank of Japan went, nope, you're not doing that. Look at these 4 hour candles. These are normal sized 4 hour candles. That is a Japanese intervention. That is a Japanese intervention. That is a Japanese intervention. Yeah. When these guys want this to come down, they will make it to come down. So the further we're pushing, the more likely that intervention is going to come again. So all these yen pairs weakness at the moment, they won't stand it for too long. US dollar, obviously, at the moment is fairly weak. So the fact that the US dollar is managing to push this hard against the yen as well, there's a nice 3-bar reversal going in there at the moment. I think we've got a good chance of this one coming down as well. However, the PMI figures tomorrow, if we get positive PMIs, then there's a good chance we're going to get a pump on the US. So if that does happen, obviously that's going to take the yen into further decline, which will make them even more interested in dropping it. So we will see. But all of these yen pairs are extended, very, very, very extended. 75. Yeah, this is all starting to move now. So your 15-minute reverse alerts have already kicked in this afternoon. 5-minute as well, same time. So profit take move is starting straight down into propulsion gap. There's your nice ADR reversals. Obviously, everything you see on the ADR is virtually always when you get. And so with these dashboards, with the ADR dashboard and the RSI dash, virtually every RSI ADR extension you get, you're going to find you'll have also a 1 hour RSI extension, because to get to ADR, you've got to push hard. To push hard, you're going to get the RSI extension. So these will all be lit up at the same time as the RSIs are, most of them anyway. So it's the 4 hour ones, which you don't often get on the ADRs necessarily all the time. So New Zealand dollar yen is extended, US dollar yen is extended, the pound yen is obviously extended because the pound's been rallying like a crazy thing. We've got 125 ADR on that one today before we got the reversal alert. Look at that, missed me. I can't believe that missed me by... It missed me literally by the spread. 1.6 per pet. Just. So there was my entry, and I'm now in on the reversal alert anyway. So happy with that. Euro New Zealand is extended on the 4 hour. I think we looked at this one this morning. That's already played out. So that was extended on the 4 hour. New Zealand CAD 125 ADR. The Canadian dollar's really going for it. Just about to get the reversal. Literally this candle on M15, but it's a horrible big reversal. M5 was the better one up in London. That's coming down hard. Jesus, what is that? The euro? That's the New Zealand dot. Oh no, euro. Yeah, euro. Massively weakness on the euro. We might have some strength on the New Zealand as well. Yeah. Strength on the New Zealand coming in with weakness on the euro at the same time. So euro New Zealand's getting hammered. Euro New Zealand is a short. Yeah. So we should be longing it. But you should have been longing it for quite a few days. So this is the profit take move on that. Underway. Euro yen, euro pound extended on the 4 hour and the hourly to the downside. So I love this as a long as well. No extension on, that's 5 minute. We got an extension on the hourly. We had an extension on the hourly also on Monday. Ritaj, who's just subscribed? Ritaraj. Welcome aboard. So yeah, we had an extension on the hourly, which started yesterday. Obviously, if you look at the that long that I took on the ADR extension and I got out in that propulsion gap, I think we've got more progress to make into that. So when this pound starts to weaken at some point, we'll get a nice push back up into there, I think. A little bit like these big propulsion gaps that we've had on the US dollar pairs. Not so much that one. Probably pound US dollar is better to look at. Yeah, here. So when you get 4 hours, probably easier. No, hourly. Scale out. So when you get these big propulsion moves, yeah, the initial test quite often will get tested again. Yeah. So there's a test on that one and then retested there. So I think basically we got another push on this euro pound. The euro, we're waiting for Lagarde to bolster the euro. We've really lost that strength on the euro. Nasdaq is holding at the moment. Look at that for missing my stop loss. Thank you very much. So it missed my entry on the pound yen by 1 pip. It missed my stop loss on this by 1 pip. So we're even market. I'll let you off. So yeah, it's euro pound. I think we've got a chance for another good push up into that propulsion. However, obviously they did step in there, but this is temporary pound strength. So when we get that weakness starting, I think we've got a good chance of pushing back up into here and getting that closed. We'll see. So that's euro pound. Euro Swiss is extended on the 4 hour. Oh, it was. You've missed it. Yeah, so we got that extension on the 4 hour. Also hit ADR, and it's come straight off of ADR. That's the retest alert. So there's your initial reversal alert, which we got in London, and that's the retest. So a bit of an uneven looking M pattern reversal, but missed that one. Euro odd. Euro odd looks odd. So this is extended on the 4 hour. It got extended yesterday. We had a 3-bar reversal. Well, actually, it wasn't quite a 3-bar reversal. It was more of a 4-bar reversal yesterday. So we had to push, pause, pause, pull. Normally that happens in 3 bars, not 4. But we decided to put another leg in to the upside. So again, we're extended and embedded on the 4 hour, ready for a drop. However, long on the euro. So if you look at the euro pairs, we're more long than short on euros. So all the euros have got a bias, apart from euro New Zealand and euro US, all the euros have got a bias of long. Euro yen and euro Swiss are the only strong buys at the moment, but sentiment is all short on everything. COT is all long on everything. So they're all good long signals at the moment. However, it's still coming down. It's going up, obviously, because it's all long signals. So for this coming down, you're trading counter trend. You've had the reverse alert on M5, which has just gone in, but you would have had one in there as well. But obviously, because we've just gone sideways, we've got the second alert. So I like it, but I'd much rather do that. And CAD yen and Swiss yen. So both of these yens, obviously we know the yens are massively extended, come down now. Just had a reverse alert on M15. M5 reverse alert was up there. And CAD yen as well. The reverse alert and the retest was up there. So that, look at that for an ADR hit. Oh, that's textbook. Look at that. Beautiful. Reversal alert. Retest. Lovely. Straight down into propulsion. Remember I said propulsion was the target on that one this morning. Came straight down, tapped into propulsion gap, then slammed through it. So all good. So this is everything really we looked at this morning, all starting to play out, a lot of it, isn't it? Come on, NASDAQ. Anybody got anything else they want to look at? Apart from my John Wick picture that I created with AI in 60 seconds. Trading. John Wick. Love him. Has John Wick got a tash? It looks like a cross between John Wick and that guy out of Game of Thrones. I love the way they put the dog in there. Or the AI has. I'd love to know how this works. It's so interesting. Okay, NASDAQ market structure is potentially now looking like we might get a second leg. If we get that second leg, that's your target. If we hit that target, I'm out. But we are struggling. It's very, very wicky at the moment. The Dow is holding at the lows. So it's a very weird place to be stopping on the Dow. But this is all kind of chop here, isn't it? So we're just sort of chopping within that. So there's our open. At the moment, we're putting a bear bar in. Yesterday, we had a bull bar. Previous day, we had a bear bar. So, it's just literally up, down, up, down, up, down at the moment. Which is fine, because if it goes up and down, we can make money. Just needs to do it in a nice, orderly manner, please, without all these stupid wicks. Oil I'll have a look at as well. I didn't cover oil this morning. I've gone off of it. I was looking for a long entry, and every time I look at and say, don't I, in here, every time I've looked at it and said, I'm waiting for long on oil here, it's missed my entry by millimeters, and then it's gone. It's gone again. So this area here, let's go back out to the 4 hour. So this area here was our peak formation low. I was looking for pullback entries. So that I was initially waiting for a pullback into there to go long. It missed me and went. And then it came down and it slammed through it. So I said, not getting in that one. Glad I didn't. And I said, down here, we don't want to invalidate that. We should push, which we are. But it's so... Look at the wick here and look at the way this is trading. It's just nasty. It's a little bit like gold in the fact that you got these horrible spiky bits. And it gives you mixed signals all the time. But 107 a barrel is our target. 82 is our interim target. It's just not able to get started, is it? We're not able to really kickstart and get that long going. At the moment, we're kind of pushing down. That's ADR on Aussie New Zealand. We're kind of pushing down at the moment, and also forming a wedge. So we've got a symmetrical triangle pattern forming, but the symmetrical triangle is bearish. Yeah, so potential break to the downside. If we break to the downside, the only target we've got is that. And if we break that, that invalidates our idea of going long. So oil is a real mess at the minute. Very difficult to pick a direction on it. You kind of want to buy the lows. But I'd be worried if we do get down to these levels. The fact that we've not managed to break these highs now, we could well collapse back down to here. So it's very difficult. And you're bang in the middle of the range at the moment. Very, very hard to make any head or tail of what's going on with oil. Gold, obviously we want to be looking for, well, that's NASDAQ. We don't want to look at that. Gold, where's gold gone? We want to be looking for shorts on. Basically based on US dollar, obviously because US dollar is strong. So we were looking for a pullback and then drop. So again, how long this US dollar pullback is going to last will be dependent on what happens with the PMI figures tomorrow. If we get positive PMIs, we're going to rally again, which means you want to be shorting gold. This move here is potentially on the cards. We'd need negative PMI figures to get it. But the move that started after the pullback on the unemployment numbers is here. And in which case, then we're looking for something like 175 ADR. So today we're at 125 ADR. If we can get half an ADR move tomorrow, we're kind of in the area where we should start looking to short this, assuming that we're going to get positive PMI figures. So gold is potentially in a nice spot to start shorting, but it's really all going to depend on see, look how weak the US dollar is at the moment. We should be getting a really good rally on these indices. They're struggling like hell to make any headway today. Being held down, something in the market is not liking the indices today. The US dollar is not looking particularly weak, is it? So yeah, mixed. So that's it. That's all I've got for you today. I've got a horrible feeling I'm going to get stopped out of this NASDAQ. Look at the wicks. It's just, it's algorithmic at the moment. There's no real consensus either way. No, I don't think there's no sentiment trading going on at the moment on this. It's just algorithmic. It's just wicks after wicks after wicks. Inflation is expected to come down, which might take pressure off of interest rates for the US. Just saw some pound news there. Pound to sell 4.5 billion of 3.5% bonds on March the 7th. So that's going to raise capital for the pound. So we might get some more movement on the pound. I don't know. Certainly, it's going to need to breathe, isn't it? So, you know, worst case scenario, you know, something like the pound CAD, looking at that. Best case scenario, I think you're looking at that. If the US dollar powers up, you're looking at that. I'm going to stop out on the NASDAQ. US dollar's rallying. Tough session, that, isn't it? Managed to get to about like $600 profit, and that was it. Another losing day. It's 3 on the trot. Not my friend at the moment, the NASDAQ. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, short when H1 RSI gets extended. Yeah, that's a nice short. So we looked at this one this morning. That's not far away. We're sitting in this propulsion gap at the moment. So, yeah, if we can get more of a rally on this, we're going to need the weak US dollar this afternoon. But you got that propulsion gap is what caused the break and started the move. So we should retest that 62.028 level, which is the break. We've got that level there as well, which is this propulsion gap, which is what we've just tapped up into. So this whole area here is going to be very, very resistive. So if you got to think what we're going to do. There's every opportunity to get in short. We might not get that extension. Yeah, if you look at here, we haven't had an RSI extension on this pretty much all month. Yes, we have. At the beginning of the month, we had one. So we've had one there and one there. I was buying this for some reason. Why was I buying that? Oh, yes, I was buying that. So I was buying this basically because I got an ADR hit. So this is one of the problems with the ADR, the Market Reversal Alert EA and ADR. Because this whipsaw on non-farm payroll, that's not non-farm payroll, that's Tuesday. Whatever that was on Tuesday, that was probably news. No, what was that on a Tuesday? What date was that? 14th of February. The CPI. So this was a whipsaw on the US CPI figures. Because of that, I got an ADR signal. So we'd hit ADR to the downside. So we got a reversal alert there, which sent me long. And as soon as I did that, obviously it collapsed. So I had to scale in. That was a nasty little drawdown, that one, but got out of it nicely. But yeah, that wasn't really the trade that I wanted to take there. And it was extended on RSI. I don't have a filter on ADR and RSI at the same time. But that's coming out of that resistance quite nicely now. So, you know, it could not get there. And we could just look at pretty much where we are right now for next legs. But it might push up. If you get in now, if you get a reversal alert, I mean, you need some strength in the opposite direction. So I would wait on M5. If you get a reversal alert, there's an opportunity to get in there. We're just coming out of that propulsion gap on M5. If that doesn't hold, your next entry is going to be somewhere up in there, which is 26 pips. 33 pips is half an ADR. So you wouldn't be able to get in again until 125 ADR. So it's a tricky one, that, to call. If you get in there and it resists and it comes out of there, you're only going to go into like a third of a drawdown. So yeah, I would get in on it now. You could. Stopped out on the NASDAQ. I really want to take this short. Dow is breaking. We're trying to make a new low again. So this is potentially looking like bearish market structure now. But we're selling straight into support. So I don't really want to take that. I don't want to sell straight into support. I just jumped out of EJ short too soon. Yeah. Might not be too soon. So this is what the target that I called this morning on this one. Very extended on the 5-minute. So it's probably wise to get out down there. Somewhere in here, potentially you might find some buying. It will probably be the high of the week when New Zealand US dollar H1 RSI goes extended. Yeah, it will be, I think. New Zealand dollar Swiss has just hit ADR as well. Oh, it's all go today, isn't it? Busy, busy, busy. Geez, look at this New Zealand dollar. Oh, that's a weak Swiss franc, actually. Yeah, that's a weak Swiss franc. Fine. New Zealand dollar Swiss long. So your Swiss pairs, Euro Swiss, US Swiss long, New Zealand Swiss is a long but range bound. Sentiment is the wrong way on that. So watch this level. Yeah, that's a liquidity grab. At ADR, there's also liquidity there. Yeah. Back down to there. Swiss yen extended. All the ends, all the ends. Look at that collapse on the yen. Profit take. See, this is exactly what I was talking about with the climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Profit take. Soon as the market sees the profit take starting, everybody takes profit. Soon as everybody takes profit, all the speculative short players jump on board and start their positions. And that's why you get the market structure shifting to the other side. So as soon as everyone's gone in short, we get a pullback, profit take, and then a second leg short. You're going to stop me out and rally, aren't you? Oh, not happy with the NASDAQ. 150 New Zealand CAD. So New Zealand US dollar is probably going to hit as well, I would say. So we're up in that zone, definitely up in that zone now that we want to be looking at on New Zealand dollar, US dollar for shorts. So you can sit the reversal EA on and start looking for 5-minute reversals, I reckon. Just realized no non-farm payroll this week. No, it's the 20th. It's the last day of the month this week. Next week. So yeah, next week. This is going to be a key one. This Swiss CPI on Monday. We never get any info out of the Swiss. They're so tight-lipped about everything. If we get a bullish CPI figure for that, I think we're going to get a really big move on the Swiss next week. We've had some uncharacteristic weakness on the Swiss franc, so I think we might get a big move on that one next week. We've got the Aussie rates 3.35 forecast. I think we were looking at 0.25 on the Aussie, weren't we? Wasn't there forecast? Oh, we don't get the forecast till next week. Then we've got the rates for Canada on Wednesday. So we got huge news for the Swiss, huge news for the Aussie, huge news for the CAD, huge news for the yen, huge news for the pound, huge news for the CAD, huge news for the US. Next week is just chaos. First week of the month as well. Going to be some big moves next week. You are going to do it, aren't you? I hate you. Stop me out and then it's going to bloody run up to that high. Got 2 minutes left on this candle. This is potentially looking like a uneven W bottom, like that. Watch the Dow. The Dow rallies from this level. Looks like it's wanting to rally. Look, if we get a move on the Dow, I think we're going to get a run on this. 125 euro New Zealand. Oof. Not happy, is it? Why is the euro so weak? You see, this is the other thing that is convincing me that this pound move is not legitimate. Yeah. If this was such a good move for the pound, right? This Northern Ireland deal, it's a good news for the euro. Yeah. We're trade partners. We want to do business together. Let's get this border sorted. Excellent. That's going to be really good for both of us, isn't it? Why is the euro collapsing? Yeah, doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. This is not a move on the pound. This is inflated. This is knee jerk. Oh, that New Zealand dollar. Look at that New Zealand dollar go. Someone shoved a rocket up New Zealand dollar's backside, look. Mixed sentiment. Market is long New Zealand. We're looking for shorts on that. Yeah, so sentiment EA. Brings me on to sentiment EA nicely. So just redone it. So what we've got on here now is the ability to take entries at the start of day, which I've got set as 1 a.m. The ability to use first profitable close exit, which means that when it takes a position, as soon as a candle closes and the profit is there, it just exits the position. And you can set which you want to use. So I'm using first profitable close on the daily candle. So what I'm saying is get in at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, if you're in profit, get out. Yeah. So all these ones we looked at this morning where the sentiment EA was running and not able to flick over. God, it's useless. It was Euro we were looking at, wasn't it? One of the Euro pairs. That is it. Yeah, so this like Euro Swiss. So basically, get in at 1 a.m., get out at the end of the day if you're in profit. Get in at 1 a.m., get out at the end of the day if you're in profit. Get in at 1 a.m., get out at the end of the day if you're in profit. Get in at 1 a.m., get out at the end of the day if you're in profit. Just keep rinse and repeat. Keep entering in line with sentiment and get out when you're in profit. So that's basically what the first profitable close exit does. But you could use the 4-hour. And the 4-hour worked very well as well. Except what was happening with the 4-hour I was finding is sometimes if you've had a drop in the morning, so what you do is you get in, 4-hour down, 4-hour up, in profit, close. So all you get is that. And then it goes boing, boing, rallies for the day and you miss it. So I decided to jump up to the daily. So when you watch it and what it does, it's pretty cool. And also trailing stops work very well. So I was testing out a 1 ADR trailing stop. Like that. 2 ADR profit. That's what I was testing, pound US. So if you run that and watch it, I'm using the hourly time frame. Doesn't matter what you use. It's got to be on the hour because you're entering on the hour. But it's pretty cool that it just literally jumps you in. I've got it set to hourly checks, I think. So this might be a bit jerky. But yeah, so basically that's the principle. You get in. If at the end of the day you're in profit, you get out. You get in. If at the end of the day you're in profit, you get out. You get in, out, shake it all about. Yeah, in, trail your stop. You get a flurry against you, you take a small loss. And you keep doing that. Yeah. So when you get these, obviously this is not right sentiment. This is back in 2020. So this the sentiment you can ignore. So all this is doing is basically taking longs. It's not doing proper sentiment. But yeah, so that's basically the way it works. And obviously you could use trailing stops. You could not use stops. I've done this without using a stop. Mixed results. You could use drawdown control with it. I think that would be quite successful. But yeah, it looks absolutely brilliant. Yeah, sitting there making money. This is not even trading with sentiment. This is just basically a trend EA basically now, isn't it? So it's made $3.5 grand. I don't know how long it's been trading, but so yeah, that's basically the premise of it. So that's what first profitable close is. So all you're doing is you're saying, get into a trade for me because I think we're going up today. If I'm right, get me out with the money. If I'm wrong, stay there. Don't do anything. Enter another position for me and then continuously do that as long as the sentiment is in line with where I'm going. If the sentiment isn't, you are going to get taken out by your trailing stop. So that deals with the situation where we have sentiment where we say, right, we want to be getting in long because the sentiment is short. And then all of a sudden we're in a position and it shifts to 54% and 46%, meaning that we've got no bias either way. So what we do then is we just stop taking our trades. Yeah. And either it goes and we close, or it doesn't, and we get taken out by our trailing stop. So that deals with the situation. New Zealand US has hit ADR as well. So that deals with the situation I was talking about this morning, where what the hell do we do when sentiment changes halfway through a trade? As we've seen with some of these, it can go like that within a day. So that deals with that for us. And if you're using the hourly time frame, what it will do is it will check the sentiment every hour. So if at 1 o'clock in the morning, it hasn't got you in, it might get you in at 9 o'clock. See, that's made $2,000, not even trading sentiment. That's just made $2,000, literally just taking longs. You know, the strategy works regardless of sentiment in effect. But obviously, if we're trading in line against sentiment, you're going to have a much more chance of getting those trades on. So yeah, so there's lots of things that it can do there. And I've scrapped yesterday's high, previous high, last week's high, etc. because those, although they are working, I'll probably leave them in the EA maybe, but as long as, you know, they are working, they're making profit, but this has got a lot more potential, I think, as a strategy. So Swiss yen. Oh, you utter git. Knew it. Swiss yen. What was the question? How much further do you think Swiss yen could drop? What time frame are you trading? So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier with that propulsion gap we were looking at. After you get that initial test and drop, you will come back and retest it when it's that big. So we are obviously coming out of it now. If you're taking is this an ADR today, Swiss yen? Yeah. What did we hit first? We hit upside, didn't we? 95, yeah. Oh no, hang on. 98. So this is a downside hit. Yeah, this is a downside ADR. I'd get out if you're short now. We've just taken that liquidity. However, if you are in this now from a longer term perspective, i.e. you're taking an hourly RSI extension, if you've only got that one candle, this is when this candle closes here in the next, well, we've got 55 minutes, haven't we? It's unlikely we're going to do that, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to push up somewhere. We're going to form a propulsion gap, which will likely get retested and then drop, assuming that this is going to be yen strength or Swiss franc weakness, and it's going to continue. So you're asking the impossible question, really, Sancho. If I knew how far it could drop, I would be in it and trading it short, and I don't know. But just watch the propulsion gaps. Yeah, this is where, you know, buyers have stepped in, buyers have stepped in. Buyers have just stepped in, haven't they? However, sellers have moved the market from there. So that could be what the move is. It could drop down and take out yesterday's low. It could drop down and take out the weekly low from last week. What's the yen going to do tomorrow? That's the question. Aussie New Zealand long on at support and H1 RSI and ADR. Aussie New Zealand. So Aussie New Zealand is a bit of a difficult one. It's a massive sell if you look at it. So Aussie New Zealand, as far as I'm concerned, we are in a pullback drop. Yeah. So if you're long on this, it needs to be short term. Yeah. So RSI extension, basically you're trading counter everything at the moment. It could work, obviously. It's a really good support level here. But I would be looking for something like that. So if you're taking RSI, mean reversion, and ADR, which it is as well, then yeah, perfect. But I would be looking, it's quite difficult to actually pick a level of resistance on this. You've got this propulsion gap, obviously, where you could find we just get sold out of. You've got this low and this low here, which potentially forms the next resistance. Yeah. Drop, 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 slam, resistance, drop. So if you're mean reverting this, I would be wary of that, and I'll be wary of that. So you've still got, from where you are now, 17 pips, which is a quarter of an ADR. ADR reversals, quarter of an ADR to a half an ADR max. Alan, on my Forex funds, do you have to take a trade every day? No. You can miss days. I never miss days, but you can miss days. Right, that's all I've got for you today. I'm going to go and scream at the NASDAQ. I hate you. Who are my stops on this? Let's just look at this nasty NASDAQ today. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong trade. That's a profit. Wrong way around. This is the nasty NASDAQ today. I preach it every day in here, don't I? Don't use stop losses. If you put your stop losses in the market, you'll get stopped out. That's just exactly why you don't lose stop losses. There you go. I'm so depressed. Can't win. Never mind. Mid-journey, nasty NASDAQ. Should we do one more before we go? Image. Oh. Nasty NASDAQ. Let's see what we get. Nasty NASDAQ. Oh, Christ. I've lost my yowzers. Lost my place. Jesus, there's a lot of people using this. God, I've never been in a Discord channel where there's a million people using it. I've actually lost my request in all of this. Where did that go? Wow. Jesus, I've lost it. Can't be that far away. Real picture of medicine capsules. What? People are weird. Oh, I've actually lost it. I forgot to scroll down before I typed. And I don't know how to find my posts in Discord. I'm not very good in Discord. Maybe I'll do it again. Now I know where we are. Nasty NASDAQ. Be interesting to see what it does with that. Oh, the word nasty is banned. Oh, there you go. Horrible NASDAQ. Let's try that. See what that comes out with. Horrible NASDAQ. There we go. Sending command. We just had some more alerts coming through. Oh, no, we didn't. Right. So this NASDAQ, we're just basically like that. But that's where I think we're heading today. That's where I thought we were heading earlier, but obviously it decided to kill me before it got there. Horrible NASDAQ. Here we go. It's coming through. Really? I don't get that. Sorry. AI has failed. What the hell's that got to do with horrible NASDAQ? Massa. Adsa. Alabo. Asal. Asal. What's that got to do with nasty NASDAQ or horrible NASDAQ? No, that's a fail. Sorry, not interested in that one. Not as good as my John Wick trading. That's much better. John Wick trading is much better. We like that. Right. Might want to put a disclaimer up. A disclaimer? Of what? Dow has been untradeable today. Dow? Yeah, that's... Well... The only trade, yeah, I mean, the only trade today was the pre-market 15. That was your trade today. That was a lovely entry, the pre-market 15. But you know, this is the trouble, isn't it? You don't know which day, which instrument is going to be the one. You need to get on both, ideally, with a strategy. And like I say, some strategies, some days are going to be winners, other days they're not. Overall, it'll average itself out. But the pre-market is the most aggressive and the most dangerous, but also the most profitable and the fastest profitable. It's a beautiful one when it works. When it doesn't work, it's a nasty, nasty, nasty thing. So I've kind of gone off the pre-market. It's nice to make those big, fast moves, but I get the feeling you're going to get whipsawed more often than not. So, afternoon, Luke. Late again due to South Africa running out of electricity. Not good. I hope we don't run out of electricity. Oh, NASDAQ, I am utterly disappointed in you today. You have been a very, very nasty, nasty person. Look at the slippage I got on that. Yeah, so tricky. We are going to get that high today. Just too late. Went without me. I don't generally try the pre-market for New York. I don't have a great track record with it. No, I'm finding the Dow. I'm much more profitable on DAX. My DAX accounts are way more profitable than my US. On paper, in the back testing, the Nasdaq is the most profitable. In reality, at the moment, the DAX is making me much more money. I've drawn out of, well, I haven't drawn yet, but I will be drawing out of 2 DAX accounts. The Nasdaq, I blew one actually, blew a Nasdaq yesterday. Hit max drawdown 12%. It didn't do that in backtest. Actually, no, it did do that in backtesting. 16. I think it was 16 grand we hit in backtesting. Which Nasdaq was it? That was with $200, I think, wasn't it? No. Oh, it's not this set file. It's on the other set files. I don't know which one it was. I think in backtesting it did 16 grand, and I thought, yeah, probably won't do that again. Did 14 in a week and a half. So yeah, that's a pain. But yeah, I'm finding the DAX much more orderly, much more reliable on all set files. I think it's just because it's slower. You know, look at the DAX this morning. Yeah. Look at the candle bodies on the DAX. Yeah, we get much more controlled, sustained movement on the DAX. It's much easier to trade. And when it goes beautifully. Look at the wicks on the NASDAQ. And this is what I'm finding at the moment with all of the US indices. It's wicky as hell. And these wicks will take you out, as they've just done there, look. Yeah, we didn't close anywhere near. Well, we did close near, but we didn't close there. We just wicked me out. And this is what I'm finding with these NASDAQs and the Dow at the moment. The DAX is just the instrument of choice. And I'm finding I'm posting much more results on the DAX. So ES is crap too. Yeah, I haven't even done any back testing on the ES at all. I haven't tested the S&P at all. But look at the wicks on the S&P, look. It's nasty, isn't it? I think with the with things like these US indices, I think the best strategy on these is intercandle. You know, it's getting in with big lot size at highs and lows when we know we're going to get these wicks. If we've got a big strong candle, wait for that big strong candle to close, and then take them long, because you know you're going to wick back up inside of it a lot of the time. And just try and scalp really fast. It's not my bag though. I'm just no good at that. I'm not good at it. It annoys me. Don't generally try the pre-market. Yeah, bit of a W on the NAS now. Yeah, well, that's what I pointed out earlier, Luke. You weren't here. I said, didn't I, everybody? If you rewind by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes, I said we're going to pop from here. We got a W, and I drew it on the screen. It's the same as this one over here, look. I said, oh, you know, it stopped me out. It's going to go without me, and we're going to break that and come up to these highs. Go and rewind this in an hour. It does exactly. How many times have I done this? It does exactly what I say it's going to do. It just does it without me. DAX as well this morning. The DAX this morning was just the most annoying thing in the universe. I missed. I stopped. The EA stopped there, and then it went, and it went without me. I got the initial entry right. I got stopped out at break even, and then it shot. Just, you know, some days you just don't get it. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to go, nah, right, fine. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new session. Erratic price moves so far could be due to being last trading day of the month. Options expiry. No, you normally get last day of the month. You normally get strong. If they're going to do that, you normally get strong pushes. Last day of the month, you normally actually, yeah, that's what we're seeing today, people. I didn't even think about it, to be honest, because it's February, isn't it? It always throws me, February. It's the 28th. It's the last day of the month. It's not really normally. It's the 30th or the 31st. But what we're seeing today, all these is profit taking moves, probably. Yeah. This is what we use. This is why on the charts we have the 24 and the 72 moving average. These are the monthly and the quarterly reporting periods for the institutions. Today is the end of the month. Yeah, it's the 24. So this is the profit taking moves, them getting themselves into profitable balances so they can get the bonuses. Hitting targets, hitting customer targets, hitting shareholder targets. We always get this towards the end of the month, these big pushes. I didn't even think about it, but that's what we're seeing. Or have seen. That's it now. Done. Now we should expect it all to just fall apart. Strong trend on the last day. Yeah. Not on the NAS. NAS is an inside session at the moment. Can't see it on that because I haven't got the sessions on, but yeah, at the moment NAS is an inside session on London. Look, there's London or Globex, and we're inside. We haven't even managed to test the highs of the Globex session yet. Now it's wicking out there. Look, not good, nasty thing today, but never mind. I had an opportunity to bank $600, but Meh. Meh. Them's the roundabouts and swings of the trading game. Right, so I'll leave you there. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time as usual, and we will trade the nice instrument that we call the DAX that tends to pay us on a regular basis. So we'll trade that tomorrow. We'll have a look at the FX market, get set up for moves tomorrow on the Aussie. So anything that you're in right now, Australian dollar, if you've got it green, bank it or stop loss protect it. Yeah, because we're going to get a big move off of CPI, I suspect, overnight. And if you've got stuff in profit on these Aussies, even if it's a position, so if you've got a position on at the moment where you've got, with your Aussie dollar, you've got 3 trades on or 4 trades on or whatever, and one of these is sitting green and the others aren't, get that banked. And then basically you can always put that back on. You can't bank it if it goes against you. Yeah. So take it, bank it, get it green. Worst case scenario, then these 3 that are in red are going to go redder and you can add another position to get out of them, or they're all going to go green. So you bank green and then all these turn green and you bank them as well. Yeah. So if you've got green ahead of news like that is coming tomorrow morning, especially with CPI. CPI is a leading indicator. Inflation is a leading indicator. So we do tend to get the biggest moves off of the unemployment claims, GDP, CPI, and interest rates. Yeah, so this is one of the big 4. So we might well get a big move. And obviously we've got GDP quarterly as well. Same time, we've got 2 big ones landing at the same time for the Aussie. So if they come out as expected, we may well see the Aussie doing nothing. But it's real mixed sentiment on the Australian dollar. It's weak at the moment. Positioning from COT, the last positioning that they had from COT, not that we necessarily know this is right or not. Why am I not on the combined sentiment today? Or should just add commitment of traders much quicker, wouldn't it? So I'm trying to get to the commitment of traders report via the combined sentiment. So Aussie, as far as we know, this is 3-week-old data because CFTC haven't released the latest because they've had a cock up with their systems. But as far as we know at the moment, market is short Aussie. So we need to go short. Right. There seems to be some strong trend on the CAD cross pairs as well. Yeah, big moves. There's big moves across the board at the moment. We just had the CAD news, haven't we? So that's why that's moving. Yeah, we just had GDP figures for the CAD. That's why. But it's not massively strong, this movement on the CAD. So, yeah, look at since the news came out, we haven't really gone anywhere. Aussie's moving and New Zealand's moving at the minute. All the pounds, look at that, pound New Zealand. Ooh. Come on, the pound, collapse. Let's start this move. Let's get this profit take underway. Right. Ed's waiting for you on telly. Ed 209? Ed Balls? I don't know which Ed you're talking about. Anyway, I'll be gone. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50. I'll be in the Telegram group if you need me. Otherwise, have a good evening. Hopefully you make some profit on the Aussie overnight. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50. All right, have a good one.